Hello guys, an Evil Snowman here, bringing you another guide to Dota 2, this time covering Skywrath Mage. Remember, if you like the content, feel free to subscribe and like the video. Arcane Bolt will launch a slow moving bolt at an enemy unit, dealing 120 damage, plus an additional damage of 1.6 times Skywrath's current intellect. Arcane Bolt costs 70 mana with a 2-second cooldown. Concussive Shot is a long range shot that hits the closest enemy hero within a 1600 radius. Upon impact, it will deal 200 damage and applies a 40% slow to any units in a 200 radius of the target for 4 seconds. Concussive Shot costs 110 mana with a 14-second cooldown. Ancient Seal silences a target for 6 seconds and amplifies the damage they take by 36%. This effect lasts for 6 seconds. Ancient Seal costs 110 mana and has an 11-second cooldown. Skywrath's ultimate is Mystic Flare, which will create an AoE at a target point in the map, dealing 1200 damage over 2 seconds. This damage is dealt evenly across all heroes in the area. So for example, if one hero is in the area for the full 2 seconds, they'll take the full 1200 damage. If 2 heroes are in the area, then they'll take 600 damage each. Illusions are not taken into account for the selection of this damage. Mystic Flare has a 20-second cooldown and costs 800 mana. Concussive Shot is taken at level 1 because of its slow, but since the slow doesn't increase with further levels, it's not leveled again until levels 12, 13 and 14. Arcane Bolt is maxed first as it is your main nuke, and because of the short cooldown you can get very spam happy with it. So pick it up at levels 2, 3, 5 and 7. Ancient Seal can be taken at level 4 because of the silence, and max second as the silence duration and damage amplification scale really well with levels. Taking it again at levels 8, 9 and 10. Mystic Flare has huge damage potential. It may not be reliable however. Even still, you should take it at the usual 6, 11 and 16. As always, stats at level 15 and from 17 onwards. Skywrath should be played rather supporty, but still has the potential to gank. This is a fine line to walk. When played in a more supporty role, Skywrath's build starts as most supports do. If you're the sole support, then you should pick up a courier and wards. If not, you can discuss with your other teammates who buys what. After that, you should pick up some regen items, usually a set of tangos and a healing salve. Then you can fill out the rest of your slots with as many iron branches as you can afford, or if you're planning on being very aggressive in your lane, you can pick up a clarity or 2 instead. If for some reason you don't need to buy the courier or wards, you can pick up a ring of protection. You should be looking to first complete the ring of Basilius, giving you and your lane partner some great early game mana regen. If the enemy lane has some spellcasters in it, look to picking up a magic stick as your regen depletes. If you bought 3 iron branches or haven't used too much of your regen, you may have to upgrade this to a magic wand for the inventory slots. But otherwise at this point you should just keep it as the magic stick. You can always upgrade it when you start to run out of inventory slots. Next, pick up some boots of speed, and remember that since you're the sole support, you'll need to pick up another set of wards around now. As I said before, you have huge damage potential with your ult. Since it's an AoE, the enemy will simply run out of it, so you need to do something about that. Initially, you will also require a lot of mana to spam your Arcane Bolt. So first off, we build our Boots of Speed in the Arcane Boots, and then look to build a Rod of Atos. Starting with the Vitality Booster to help us get a little bit more tanky in the early game, and then combining in the Staff of Wizardry to build the actual Rod. The active from the Rod of Atos will help keep your enemies inside your Mystic Flare. If you're the only one on your team playing the support role, then this is probably where your item progression will stop in most average length games. But if the game goes longer or you net a lot of kills with your high damage spells, you can look to pick up a Scythe of Vice. The active Hex will really help keep your enemies inside your Mystic Flare, as well as prevent them from using blinks and other spells to get away. Or it can just be a really great way to shut down an enemy carry. Additionally, the intelligence and mana regen will synergize greatly with your Arcane Bolt, making it do more damage and allowing you to spam that 2-second cooldown even more. You should also look to selling your Basilius around the time you're making this item. since it's more for the early game and the mana regen is completely outmatched by the Scythe. Also, the combination of Arcane Boots and Scythe of Vows should be more than enough mana for this point. If for some reason you still have a lot of money after buying your Scythe, you should look towards buying a Shiva's Guard. This has really good stats for you and another active slow, which will help keep your enemy inside the Mystic Flare for longer, as well as reducing the attack speed of enemy carries. Early on, you should be laning with a carry in the safe lane. Your mana pool isn't the best, so you should focus on harassing the enemy with your auto attacks and save your combo for going in for the kill. When you're casting your ult on retreating enemies, try and cast it behind them with them just on the edge, meaning they'll have to run through it to try and escape and thus take more damage. Also try and have a slow applied to targets inside the AoE. Or, if the enemies are chasing, you might want to place it in front of them, again with them on the edge, so they have to run through it to catch whatever they're chasing. In the mid game, basically as soon as you've got your level 6, you should try and roam around the map with a stunner or a disabler and try and get kills. Use your Mystic Flare and have your teammate disable them inside of it. This will almost guarantee a kill every single cooldown. Remember that you're a squishy hero with a big range in your spells, so in team fights, try and keep around the fringes of the fight, using your spells on cooldown and only auto attacking when you're safe to do so. Keeping your AoE up and try and force them to stand in it. Have your Ancient Seal on the focus target and everyone slowed with your concussive shot. Your Scythe should be used to take other people out the fight. If for example a Tidehunter is running into Ravage, he should probably be removed from the fight. Otherwise, use it on whoever's standing inside your Mystic Flare at the time. Into the late game, stop roaming and stick with your team. Otherwise, you will be killed in a second if you're on your own. Focus on contributing as much as you can to the crucial team fights in the late game. Thanks very much for watching this guide. If you liked it, feel free to subscribe, like and favourite down below, and comment on anything you think I should change, or perhaps might be of use to anyone else watching this guide. I'm an evil snowman, and I'll see you in the next video.